Dr. Indrani Karunasagar, a globally renowned microbiologist and biotechnologist, has over 4 decades of expertise in aquaculture biotechnology, seafood safety, and aquatic health. Currently the Director of Technology Enabling Center and Projects at NITI University and Head of the UNESCO Microbial Resources Center in Marine Biotechnology and the FAO Global Reference Center for Antimicrobial Resistance. She has received numerous accolades including the DBT Lifetime Achievement Award. A Fellow of National Academy of Microbiologists, she continues to inspire researchers globally. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
So how paramount are technical skills and data analysis in the multifaceted field of microbiology?
Okay, thank you. That was a very important question. See, today skill development is, I should say, paramount not just in microbiology or any of the sciences, in every field. So you hear more about actually vocational centers being set up because there is a big lag between the education that happens in the institution and the employability of an individual. And this is reflected in the statements made time and again by the government. Of course, the Prime Minister as a spokesperson says it, every university vice chancellor mentions it, every funding body is setting aside a lot of fund for skill development. That being the case, in my opinion, skill goes hand in hand with all of the theoretical knowledge that is gained during the course of education in any university, in any educational institution. But does that skill translate into employability? Is the skill what an industry needs, is what you are preparing a student for? So, can we, that is why they have also introduced, maybe it is good to mention, the Professor of Practice. UGC has been introducing some of maybe novel terms. It was always there before. The academia industry relatedness and coming together of the academia and the industry was seen as the bottom line actually of development of an individual, of a university finally, so that industries, institutions get the best hands to join them. But unfortunately, it has not been the case because the focus has been a lot on examinations, marks, and of course the ranks of individuals to get into a job. It may not always be that the best ranked student turns out to be the most skilled person to do the particular task. If they both go together, then it's the best. After all, a person who is academically very much at the top deserves to be recognized through the employment that they get. But the other part of it is, if someone has not been academically at the very top, but in skill, innovation, in the way they understand a topic, that is another ball game. And it has been seen time and again. Many mediocre people, mediocre only in terms of the academic achievements that they might have turned out to be probably the very best world over. So I would not like to combine the academics with their success, but definitely the skills that are imparted would have a very important role to play if we want to see where the students are going to find themselves once they get into a job.
Alright. So how important is the role of Government of India in setting up the DST Technology Enabling Center for NITI University?
This is a very good question. And coming from a technology enabling center, maybe I can briefly tell in a couple of sentences why these centers were set up. Now, we are all aware that the buzzword today is innovation. And for innovation, it has been seen that there are a lot of incubators that have been set up, and these incubation centers promote individuals to go and see that their ideas, which also are sometimes obtained from the ideathons or the hackathons that are conducted, these people, they are young students or faculty, they can come to an incubation center and translate their ideas to something innovative in the incubation center. But then this has always not been the case. Research has always been documents that are prepared that adorn the walls, the shelves of the library. And in doing so, we only have lots and lots of publications that come out. We see a lot of theses and dissertations, project reports piling up in the library. But what has come out of it? every one of them doesn't become a technology, though it is for the purpose of developing a technology that everybody is doing research. And therefore the government of India ventured on one more organization that would probably serve as a link between these academic institutions that produce a lot of dissertation, thesis, project reports by young students, young faculty, through either the degree, a formal PhD, and the incubation center, and they call this at the technology enabling center. So what happens is, mining the technologies from the work that has been carried out by a lot of the young people in faculty becomes the main task, and in my opinion this was a very major step. So the Department of Department of Science and Technology embarked on this, and every state was allowed to apply to set up one. And it was a highly competitive process, and I am happy to state that for the state of Karnataka, Nitya University were also not just bidders, but we had project reports that had to be presented before a very elegant committee, and of course we face a lot of these interview questions before we get approved, and Nitya University has that center. So what we really do is we find out what work that has been done has translational potential, and can society be benefited, because a lot of water has flown down the bridge. Lots and lots of money has been spent by various organizations on promoting the research. People are given fellowships, projects, but have all of them become a technology that has reached the society? Sometimes it's basic science, not necessary that everything becomes a technology, but at the same time we need to remember that at least some steps towards the final technology is done through the thesis work. There is a limited period of time during which it's done. And what are the lateral outcomes out of these? For instance, all of us have heard about Sir Abdul Kalam. As well, he is a name to reckon with. Now, he has been a space scientist, he has held the highest position, the President of India, but his passion was teaching and research, and during his space research, he found some low weight carbon material, and when he saw one child struggling to walk with heavy calipers in the field, it struck him, why not we use some of the very light materials, what is the byproduct of some of his space research, to develop calipers. And when he did that, it was probably one of the best things a disabled person could have had, instead of dragging the feet with something very heavy, some lightweight calipers. Now that being the case, now this is innovation. So they realize that is why actually we have a lot of institutions that are set up, research portals that are set up in the name of Dr. Abdul Kalam. And what we now do here is, in this Technology Enabling Center, go to the schools, conduct science exhibitions where we try to hear from them some novel ideas, because catch them young is a slogan we all hear, and there are brilliant ideas that come, and looking at day-to-day problems. It could be related to water, land, agriculture, fisheries, health, most important it could be, but instead of just being followers of what has been done by everyone else, can we handhold maybe young children, maybe young scientists, to convert their thoughts into something tangible that benefits society? So essentially, being a center of excellence to address the socio-economic needs of the country will help finally in revitalizing the economy of this nation, yes, and we promote innovation and translating academic research taking place in the portals of a laboratory to become a technology. And the third and most important is build innovative groups, networking, which is very important for collaborating research. So this is only possible when you join hands. It is never going to be a case of working in silos, because then you come to a dead end when you do something, but you need many different departments, right? Communication is one of them. What is done has to reach the public, so that public realizes that here is an agency, an institute that is conveying to the nation, conveying to the people of the nation, what is it that has been developed? Does it have a lot of significance? Does it improve the economy? And therefore, it's I should say multifaceted approach where intersectoral collaboration, We always use the word inter and multidisciplinary research, but intersectoral collaboration, it could be a social scientist, it could be an economist, all of them need to come together, and this is promoted by Technology Enabling Center. I'm happy this initiative, which took off initially with 10 centers in the country in 10 states, has now blossomed, and we have now 21 states having center. And between each of these techs, which are there in different states, we collaborate, we exchange, because what we develop may not immediately find an entrepreneur in our state, but somebody else may have. So what the Department of Science and Technology is aiming to do is have a portal where all the technology is developed upon. All the entrepreneurs can go through it and see if it interests them for their entrepreneurship journey. They could pick whatever is happening and not bridge to another. Yeah.
Alright. How significant is the role of international organizations like UNESCO and FAO in promoting collaboration and research for the larger good of humanity?
Yeah. Okay, this is very interesting. Now,
how significant is the role of international organizations like UNESCO and FAO in promoting collaboration and research for the larger good of humanity?
Yeah. Okay, this is very interesting. Now, how did we become a UNESCO center? How did we become an FAO center? See, Rome was not built in a day. So, whatever you do at a village level, a small institution where you work with, of course, my background is I came from the medical college, the KMC, and then in Manipal, and then I worked in Jitmar at Pondicherry. But I realized my science passion, I'm talking about the years 1972 to 78, 79. All of you were not even born then, okay? And I realized my husband and me both were very interested in research, and we realized that our passion for research is never going to be satisfied in the medical college. So we moved out and to a lesser known university called as University of Agricultural Sciences, with a small college in Mangalore called College of Fisheries. We found our passion. We joined there, and then there was no looking back. And College of Fisheries, people raised their eyebrows, even the family, they wondered what were we doing after doing all these, MSc, PhD, everything in a medical college, and now landing up in a College of Fisheries. But see, fish is food. Fish is nutritionally rich. It takes care of food and nutritional security. But where is fish growing? It's in the water. Water is the elixir of life. Whether it is drinking water or fish grown in water, the problems that come from water are so many. Having good drinking water is the bottom line to good health. And we know how contamination of water through poor sanitation is all important for the large number of diseases that exist. And these disease-causing organisms, be they bacterial, viral, or parasitic, they all may be transmitted to humans either directly through water, or it may be through the food that is grown in water, most importantly, say fish. And therefore looking at food safety became very important for our research. And during the course of all of this, we were publishing a lot of papers because, like it is said earlier, publish or perish used to be the maximum in science. Converting it into a technology came later, but initially it was all publication. The whole world viewed your publications and decided where you stand, what is your H index, and so on. So my husband and me were very busy doing all of that with a large number of students. We have had over 42 PhD students and about 38 master's science students who have completed, maybe a record number. So all of my success I attribute to all the students who carried out research with me. And when they were doing everything that got published was recognized globally because it went to international journals, and therefore we didn't have any godfather anywhere. When we were recognized as a center to partake in capacity building for scientists, young scientists from all over the world, we jumped at that prospect because that started to bring us recognition. It enabled, I did not go, but my husband, who is a Humboldt fellow, moved to the United Nations and worked with them for about 12 years in a permanent position. And then we retired from government service and came here. So it was in 1996, January 1st, that I had this gift from the UNESCO, which enabled me to see a letter where I was told that we are recognized as a UNESCO Resources Center, and I'm the director of that center. So since then we have had this crown to us. Not that we get a lot of funds for that, but what we get is the recognition, and that enables a lot of funds to come, because every international organization is not going to give money, that is for sure. What they really do is they recognize you, but with that crown you become eligible for a lot of funds when you apply, because then people realize in many funding bodies that you have been recognized by virtue of the merit that you have attained through your work, and therefore you deserve to be supported. So it has that. So the Food and Agriculture Organization has of course been focusing on food production, food safety, water safety, and the other, toxicants, how to manage the health of animals, or plants, or the environment. And then the UNESCO supports a lot the capacity building tasks. And more recently, just about a couple of months ago, I have been made a member of the advisory board for the International Decade of Sciences for Sustainable Development. So all this honor, I think I'm very happy that Nitte University gets into limelight. It's not just as an individual. What I get is reflected because it's the university's name that will help more people to come here, as seen from the recently concluded international workshop that we had with 22 people who came for learning. It was a hands-on workshop to learn all about genomic techniques, about microbiomes and so on.
That's wonderful. Where do you see Nitte University as a leader towards national and international recognition?
Oh, I think my description of your previous question, my answers actually serve to answer this question. Yes, I see Nitte University as being recognized globally. We are a very young university, and I think sky is the limit for any recognition. But then we can never become complacent about any achievements that we have. It has to be a very sustained effort. Now, the Chancellor, through setting up, of course, when I joined him, there was no research center here. And when I requested that I would set up an institute with research at the bottom line, he very willingly agreed. And so the Nitte University Center for Science, Education and Research, which of course the acronym is NUCSR, was set up. And everyone in the university is aware of the phenomenal growth of that institution. And I have had a lot of faculty, almost 12 of them are my own doctoral students, postdocs who have come. The director there has also been my student in the past. And it has not just been working in silos, but they have been supporting all the other institutions like the medical, the dental, engineering, and anyone who comes to work around with them, they can support. And this I see as the beginning of the future recognition that is in waiting. We have to become an international center where people start to seek and come here. And for that, all the young people have to work very hard, because it is never something that will be achieved without efforts. And efforts means writing many projects, getting a lot of interested students to work in the center, doing good projects that get acclaimed by globally important people, and for the benefit of mankind eventually. So I would like to see, so I would not like to be snobbish or feel pertinent and say, no, Nitte is going to, because nobody can predict, we are going to be. The competition is so great in the country that all institutions are vying with one another to do better. And the NAC rankings, the UGC rankings, as well as, so many NIRF ranking. These have made the whole task very competitive, sometimes with, of course, passion being lost during the race for ranks. But it's okay, everyone has to use some scale, and NIRF ranking helps globally people to see where we stand. And I think Nitte is doing well, but we need to do better. As I mentioned, we can never be complacent. We have to work very hard. Like Swami Vivekananda says, arise awake, stop not till your goal is reached. No, there's nothing as goal, I have reached, this is it. No, it has to be a continuous process. And of course, heights by great men reached and kept are not attained by sudden flight. They and their companions slept, toiling upwards in the night. Such poems by, say, Longfellow or whatever Rabindranath Tagore says, or Robert Frost saying, the woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep. Miles to go before I sleep, miles to go before I sleep. So it's not I sleep, but knitted. No? Miles to go before midday sleep. So I think the future is bright. Young people like you are there to take the university forward. And the future looks bright, but amidst all our race, we should remember that humanitarian qualities, empathy, sympathy, and considering that all humans are equal, supporting the lesser privileged people, this is all part of the journey that we should undertake towards that, I should say, success or the recognition that we.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable time and insights. Your contributions are truly inspiring and really appreciated.
Thank you.